Welcome to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast, your weekly news roundup of hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories from around the Gem State. Hosted by Fish and Game's Public Information Specialist, Connor J. Lease.
And welcome back to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast. This week, we're talking about a grizzly bear attack at Henry's Lake, why a new state record cutthroat has biologists perplexed, and what it's like being a recreation site foreman for Fish and Game. But first, just when you thought the Idaho Fish record books didn't have any blank pages left, one adventurous angler from Moore, Idaho, caught and released one of Idaho's most coveted alpine fish back on June 20th. Like many of us during the dog days of summer, angler Wade Jensen grabbed his collapsible fly rod and headed high into the mountains for a weekend of alpine fishing. Alpine lakes aren't necessarily known for producing abnormalities in the size department, but can offer venturesome fishermen and fisherwomen a smorgasbord of species, from tiger trout to golden trout. But high atop every mountain angler's bucket list is the fabled Arctic grayling, a chromatic alpine phantom that looks like it had a mountain whitefish and Florida sailfish for parents, and Jensen was in the heart of their country. While stripping in his fly at Fishpole Lake, Jensen witnessed a pronounced gulp just above the water's surface, set the hook, and fought to reel in what might have just been any other alpine lake fish. But after netting the fish and noticing its characteristic large dorsal fin, Jensen knew he had a special fish on the end of his line. But upon measuring the Arctic grayling with a tape measure stretching 16.7 inches, it was clear Wade Jensen would be flirting with the record books once he got back to civilization and bringing with him a moment he would remember forever. Congratulations to Wade on his new Idaho State catch and release record Arctic grayling. For those adventurous anglers that don't mind a hike, Idaho's backcountry alpine lakes offer a wide variety of angling options. While not originally native to Idaho, Arctic grayling are one of several species stocked in high elevation alpine lakes. Want to know where to look for grayling in Idaho? Well, go check out Fish and Game's Fishing Planner on our website. It's a great way to search and filter lakes by various species to see where you should start. But wait, there's more. This has been an epic summer for fish records, as we've covered a lot here on the podcast. But recently, one record coming out of the St. Mary's River actually shocked our biologists. Here is that story. When Luke Anderson headed to the St. Mary's River in search of Westslope cutthroat trout, setting a new state record was probably the last thing on his mind. Or was it? While Luke is officially Idaho's newest certified weight state record holder, Westslope cutthroat trout in Idaho grow much bigger than his 13.6-inch, sub-1 pound fish. Idaho's current catch and release state record, caught in Lake Pend Oreille, measured 27 inches. While the certified weight record just across the border over in Washington stands at 4.71 pounds. So then why is Idaho's certified weight record for one of its most iconic native trout species so dang small? Well, the answer involves decades of fisheries management history, but also includes changes to the state record fish program. See, up until recently, Fish and Game's state record fish program only recognized a single category for cutthroat trout. For the longest time, the certified weight record for quote-unquote cutthroat trout was the 18.94-pound lunker caught at Bear Lake by Roger Grunig in 1970. Starting in 2016, though, Fish and Game revamped the state record fish program. Changes included the new category of catch and release state records, and also included new separate record categories for all four subspecies of cutthroat trout found in Idaho: Westslope, Bonneville, Yellowstone, and Lahontan cutthroat trout. The standing record from Bear Lake continues to hold the top spot for Bonneville cutthroat trout, but this opened up opportunities for 3 new cutthroats, which have only been available since the 2016 changes. Throughout much of their range, populations of cutthroat trout have seen significant declines since Western settlement began. This was mainly from a combination of factors that included overfishing, habitat loss, and stalking non-native trout. Times were a lot different back then. Unlike the catch and release culture that dominates wild trout fishing today, harvest was widely accepted and often encouraged. Increased angling pressure, along with expanding road networks, provided easier access to trout streams. Many of those roads were built to support industries such as logging and mining, which had few regulations back then. At the same time, non-native trout species such as brook, brown, and rainbow trout were being widely stocked, establishing new sport fisheries, but also contributing to the declines of cutthroat trout. By the 1960s, cutthroat trout populations were in trouble, as fisheries biologists documented significant declines all across the state. Activities like logging, mining, building roads, and pollution had significantly impacted trout habitat. Many of the laws that regulated these industries would not become established until the 1970s. The result was widespread habitat degradation that further contributed to Westslope cutthroat declines. Fishing regulations have limited or prohibited keeping Westslope cutthroat trout in many places, making it difficult for anglers to legally harvest and weigh record-sized fish. In the early 1970s, Idaho fisheries managers implemented some of the first restrictive fishing regulations designed to reduce trout harvest, including lower bag limits and catch and release across much of Idaho. Over the next 50 years, anglers embraced those conservation measures, and wild cutthroat trout populations would begin to bounce back. At the same time, new landmark environmental regulations like the Clean Water Act, the National Environmental Policy Act, the Wilderness Act, and many others began to address some of the habitat impacts. More recently, fisheries managers and conservation partners invested heavily in habitat restoration projects. The results have actually been pretty encouraging. Today, Westslope cutthroat trout occupy roughly 80% of their historic range within Idaho, and many populations have rebounded substantially. Harvesting cutthroat trout has been allowed in stocked lakes for years, but some additional waters are beginning to see limited harvest opportunities come back. For example, regulations on the Selway River recently changed from catch and release only to allowing some limited harvest. The story behind Idaho's smallest certified weight trout record is really a story of conservation success. Understanding that history helps explain why many waters still see restrictive fishing rules on cutthroat trout, but also leaves us with a greater appreciation for Idaho's state fish and the opportunities we have to enjoy it. Luke deserves congratulations for securing his place in the record books, but he's also part of the bigger conservation story of one of Idaho's favorite native trout. And if Luke's record inspires a few anglers to challenge it, well, that might not be such a bad thing either. Hit the link below to read Courtney Gary's article on our website and to see a picture of Luke's record-breaking cutty. Moving on to some Grizzly news. In the early morning of July 24th, an adult male was attacked by a bear while jogging with his dog along the Aspen Loop Trail at Henry's Lake State Park. The man sustained injuries but was able to walk out on his own. The dog was uninjured and followed him out to safety. At around 8 in the morning, the individual was transported by ambulance to Madison Memorial Hospital in Rexburg to be treated for his injuries. Idaho Fish and Game, along with Fremont County deputies, quickly secured the scene to begin an investigation of the incident. A sweep of the trail system at Henry's Lake State Park and adjacent area was conducted from both the ground and the air, thanks to the use of the sheriff's office drone. The site where the attack occurred was discovered, but no bears were found to be in the area. Due to the surprise nature of the attack and no signs of bears in the area, no further actions are being taken at this time. Henry's Lake State Park remains open to visitors for camping and launching boats. However, after consultation with Fish and Game, Henry's Lake State Park has instituted a 1-week closure of the park trail system. Officials are asking people to respect the closure and stay out of the area until it is deemed safe enough to reopen. For more information on the reopening of trails, please contact Henry's Lake State Park at 208-558-7532. This incident serves as a reminder that the entirety of Island Park is bear country. You should always assume their presence and always be bear aware. For more information on this story and how to be safe in bear country, hit the link in the show notes to read Regional Communication Manager James Brower's press release. Now, here at Fish and Game, we have a lot of different folks doing a lot of different jobs. But one job in particular that works behind the scenes is the proud maintenance foreman at our boating and fishing access sites, and their responsibilities can cover a vast range. There might be 100 things going on in a person's mind as they're launching a boat before sunrise, pulling into a campground for the weekend, or parking at a wildlife management area to begin a hunt. But most never think about the work that goes into keeping those places safe, accessible, and welcoming. That's where Idaho Fish and Game's recreation site maintenance foremen come in. Stationed in each of the department's 7 regions, these highly skilled employees are responsible for maintaining hundreds of public access sites that connect us, Idahoans, with the outdoors. Their work spans far beyond routine maintenance. On any given day, a recreation site foreman might be repairing a damaged boat ramp, grading roads after heavy rains, fixing a campground water system, replacing electrical components, operating heavy equipment, or building new visitor facilities from the ground up. That versatility is no accident. Recreation site foremen are expected to possess experience across nearly every aspect of construction and maintenance. They read blueprints, they supervise construction projects, estimate costs, purchase materials, and ensure projects meet state building codes. They even perform carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, irrigation repairs, road maintenance, and maintain sewer and well systems. They also operate loaders, backhoes, forklifts, dump trucks, and other heavy equipment, requiring each foreman to maintain a Class A commercial driver's license with an air brake endorsement. Despite the wide range of responsibilities, one of the biggest challenges isn't the work itself. It's repairing damage that never should have happened in the first place. Every act of vandalism or illegal dumping takes time and resources away from projects that could improve recreation opportunities elsewhere. Instead of building new amenities or tackling planned maintenance, crews often find themselves returning to repair damage caused by careless behavior. And those repairs come at a cost. Not just financially, but in staff time. Resources spent cleaning graffiti, removing trash, or fixing damaged roads are resources that could have otherwise been invested in improving Idaho's recreation sites for hunters, anglers, wildlife watchers, and families. Fortunately, the public can play an important role in protecting these places. Our staff encourages visitors to report vandalism, report illegal dumping, or other misuse to local city or county law enforcement, or directly to Idaho Fish and Game whenever possible. Even more importantly, we hope visitors will help care for these public lands as if they were their own. It's a simple request, but one that can make a tremendous difference. By respecting recreation sites and reporting problems when they arise, Idahoans help ensure these treasured outdoor destinations remain clean, safe, and accessible for future generations. Behind every well-maintained boat ramp, campground, and access road is a recreation site foreman whose broad skills, dedication, and hard work make those outdoor experiences possible, often without visitors ever realizing the effort was involved in the first place. To learn more about Idaho Fish and Game's fishing and boating access sites, or scroll through an interactive map of sites all across the state, visit the Fishing and Boating Access Sites and Guide webpage. All right, a quick reminder about sage-grouse and sandhill crane tags. A total of 4,280 sage-grouse tags and 870 sandhill crane tags will go on sale on a first-come, first-served basis August 3rd at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Tags will be available at Idaho Fish and Game license vendor locations, online at gooutdoorsidaho.com, and by phone at 1-800-554-8685. The 4,280 tags will be offered for 12 hunting zones across parts of southern Idaho. Sage-grouse season runs September 15th through October 31st. Hunters can buy up to 2 tags and may buy a tag for more than one zone. During its July 16th meeting in Jerome, the Fish and Game Commission approved the 2026 and 2027 sage-grouse hunting seasons and tags. The number of sage-grouse tags decreased by 750 tags. The commission also approved a fixed opening date of September 15th for the general sage-grouse season. You can watch a full video recap of the commission meeting and the sage-grouse season recommendations on our YouTube channel. An updated sage-grouse seasons and rules brochure, including number of tags available for each hunting zone, is now available on our sage-grouse seasons and rules webpage. Statewide, sage-grouse let counts decreased from 2025 to 2026. Decreases were observed in most hunting zones, with counts in a few zones comparable to 2025. Sage-grouse populations naturally fluctuate in 6 to 12 year cycles. The sage-grouse tag allocation is designed to limit harvest to no more than 10% of the fall population in each reporting zone. Fish and Game expects to adjust tag numbers annually to maintain sustainable sage-grouse hunting opportunities in Idaho. Additionally, there will be 870 sandhill crane tags available for 6 hunting areas in eastern Idaho. Seasons runs September 1st through the 15th, September 16th through the 30th, September 1st through the 30th, or October 1st through the 30th, depending on tag type, which is determined by hunt area and season dates. Sandhill crane hunters are also required to purchase a migratory bird permit. The Pacific and Central Flyway Management Plan for the Rocky Mountain population of sandhill cranes allows for the regulated harvest of cranes when the population exceeds 15,000, as estimated by the average of the 3 most recent reliable pre-migration staging surveys. Idaho's 2026 crane harvest allocation, as provided by the Flyway Management Plan, increased from 2025. In an effort to reduce hunter crowding and distribute an increased number of tags, the Fish and Game Commission approved adding additional hunting opportunity in October. Fish and Game staff reference harvest rates observed in previous years to determine the number of tags available for each hunting area. For a full list of seasons and rules for sandhill cranes, go check out the Migratory Game Bird Seasons and Rules webpage, links down in the show notes. That's all I got for top stories. Let's hit the rapid fire bulletin. All Chinook salmon fishing on the South Fork Salmon River will close effective at the end of fishing hours on July 29th. Check out the Chinook Salmon Seasons and Rules page to check the status of all Idaho Chinook salmon fisheries. Seasons can change quickly, so be sure to check the most current reports and restrictions before you head out. Attention hunters, the deadline to claim a deer, elk, pronghorn, or fall black bear controlled hunt tag is August 1st. All tags not claimed by that date will be forfeited. On Thursday, July 23rd, Fish and Game's Clearwater Regional staff safely captured and relocated a young cow moose after it was reported in a residential yard in Lewiston. The yearling moose had been reported in multiple locations across the Lewiston area over a period of time as it moved through neighborhoods and developed areas. After evaluating the situation, wildlife staff safely anesthetized and captured the animal before relocating it to more suitable moose habitat in a remote portion of the region. Fish and Game just wants to thank Lewiston Police Department, area residents, and the community members who assisted with the successful capture and relocation effort. That's all the news we have for this week. Thanks for putting an ear to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast. If there's something on your mind, or if you got a question related to fish and game matters, feel free to drop us a line at podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Again, that's podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Hunting seasons are coming up. A lot of questions, I'm sure, on people's minds, so please write in if you got anything, and we'll do our best to get them answered for you. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll catch you next week.